Okay. Let me get some music going. And for anyone who might be stopping by, if someone could please let me know if you hear me. I'm using a microphone, which I don't always do. So anyone stopping by, just let me know if you can hear me. Just a quick yes or no would be very much appreciated. Like I said, I'm using this microphone, so I never know. I never know if it's working or not. So anyone, anyone out there, just a yes or no. Can you hear me? Yes, okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So much. I appreciate it. Okay, so I'm gonna get some music started. And then I'm gonna take a second, I'm gonna cleanse the space, and I'll kind of talk about what we're gonna be doing today. So, first of all, I hope everyone's doing well today. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing something to take care of yourself today. Okay, cool. I don't know how well you can hear the music, but so welcome everyone. If you're just kind of passing through, or if you've been here before, we're going to be doing a little yoga practice today. A little grounding yoga practice. So here, I like to kind of cleanse the space, so let me do that as I'm talking. But if you're new to yoga, or maybe you just have limited experience with it, we're going to be doing a little grounding yoga practice. The type of yoga that I personally like to teach is very much like easygoing, just like coming back to the breath, gently moving our body, just like paying attention to how we're feeling, acknowledging where our mind is at. Yoga is a spiritual practice, so that means it is for everyone. However, the yoga poses and the breathing and all these techniques are really just here for us to help kind of create the conditions in our life for us to experience yoga within. Yoga is an embodied practice. I know, there we go. I was like, I know this lighter has a little more left in it. So yeah, as we get started, we'll start in a standing position. We'll just kind of move our body. We'll take a moment to set some intentions. And then as we move our body, we'll make our way to the earth, to the ground, and then we'll end in Shavasana. And following Shavasana, we'll come out and we'll do just a really brief pranayama breathwork practice. Someone say yoga means to be yoked. Very true. Back thousands and thousands of years ago, a lot of times when people were saying yoga, they meant like, I think it was like yoking what are those animals called, oxes, like for travel, like bringing two of them together to like transport goods. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me. But then as yoga started to become a spiritual practice and more people were practicing yoga, the word yoga kind of altered into unity, or like, again, yoking, bringing together your highest self, the highest version of yourself, with the highest source that there is. So different words for pretty much the same thing, but just using any word that, you know, resonates or that fits you, feels good to you. But yeah, we did talk about that in my teacher training, which I thought was interesting, how like long time ago. So I got a notification. Let me turn my notifications off. Hold on. Okay. All right, so we're gonna get started here in about a minute, 2 minutes maybe. And again, if you're just kind of passing through, or you would like to join us today, we're gonna be doing a little yoga practice, very easygoing, gentle. nothing too crazy. Again, I'm more into like the gentle sides of yoga. So again, if you have just like 20-25 minutes or so that you're able to set aside to do something to take care of yourself and to give yourself that love, that TLC that you so deserve, that's what we're going to be doing here today. So I appreciate y'all for stopping by. Again, if you're not able to join us, I hope you still have a great day. Do something today to take care of yourself. You know, drink some water, call your mom, call your dad, tell them that you love them. Say nice things to yourself. Maybe even say something nice to someone else. So with all that being said, for the practice, you really don't need any kind of fancy equipment. I do have my yoga mat, but having a yoga mat really isn't necessary for the practice. You could use a blanket, you could use a towel, or just simply like using the earth is also great as well. So with all that being said, I'll quit rambling and we can get right into it. So starting our yoga practice off, we're actually going to begin starting in a seated position. Excuse me, not a seated position, a standing position. Normally I start in a seated position, but we're going to kind of switch it up. So beginning to come into a standing position, we're going to take a moment here as we get settled to just do like a big good morning stretch. So there's really no one way to do this. Just kind of stretching, just like how we do in the morning. As soon as you wake up, it's like you don't even have to think about it. You really just stretch in a way that feels good to you. And take a few stretches here. All right, and after how we're feeling, how the earth feels underneath of us. So bringing our feet about hip width distance apart. You can also bring them out a little wider. Again, it's your choice. There's no right or wrong. We're going to begin rocking on the feet. So we'll begin going back and forth. So just slightly beginning to shift your weight into your heels. And then coming forward, beginning to shift the weight into your toes. And from here, you can move as fast or slow and which is comfortable with you today. And as we're kind of shifting our weight back and forth, just taking note of how the earth feels underneath the feet. And then gently beginning to slow down our movement, coming back into a neutral position. From here, we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to begin to rock side to side. So beginning to shift the weight into the left foot, the left outer corner of the foot, and then switching, beginning to shift the weight into the right foot, the right outer corner of the foot. And once again, we're going to do the same thing, just kind of shift side to side, rock side to side. And again, it doesn't matter how fast or slow you're moving today. It's all about just what is comfortable with you in the moment. See if you can smile just a little bit. And then gently beginning to slow down your movement, coming back into a neutral position. From here, still focusing on the feet, we're going to lift our toes off the ground and see if you can kind of distribute your weight evenly on the four corners of your feet. So similar to how we think of a roller skate. So lifting your toes off the ground. And from here, we'll take a little deep breath. So just taking a deep inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale, slowly release your toes back onto the ground. From here, we're going to bring our hands to prayer to our heart. Another option here is to place both hands on the heart. Or maybe even doing one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. And you can either close your eyes, soften your gaze towards the earth in front of you, only if it's comfortable. And we're going to take a moment here to think of something that we're grateful for today. So maybe we can think of a feeling that we're grateful for. We could think of a person in our life, or maybe something we did this year that we're grateful for, maybe an experience. And even if you're not sure what to express gratitude towards today, simply expressing gratitude towards the breath is a really nice place to start. So with our gratitude in mind, we're going to take a few cleansing deep breaths here. So taking a deep inhale through the nose, notice how the belly rises or the ribs expand. And at the top of your inhale, exhale slowly out the mouth. And we'll do that again, taking a deep inhale through the nose. And then open, audible mouth exhale. And we'll do that one more time at our own pace. You gently release your hands from your heart. And then from here, we're just going to shake something out. So you can either like shake your hands out, roll the wrists around, maybe do a few circles with the ankles. Maybe let your arms hang heavy, swing side to side. Just shaking something out of our body. And then slowing down your movement, coming back into a neutral position. So from here, we're going to kind of stretch and open the shoulders up a little bit. So we'll begin by bringing our hands to our prayer, to our hearts. And once again, just gently bring your mind back to what it is we're grateful for today. And then on an inhale, slowly begin to raise your arms out to either sides of you, raising your arms all the way up over your head. And then on an exhale, release, bring your hands back to prayer, to your heart. And we'll do that 2 more times. So inhale, begin to sweep your arms all the way up over your head. You can look up if it's comfortable in the neck. And then exhale, bring your hands to prayer, to your heart. One more time, inhale, sweep the arms up over your head, gaze up. And exhale, hands to prayer. You can release your hands from your heart, and then we're going to take a moment to just open our hips, give our hips a little bit of love here. So what I like to do is bring my feet out a little wider than my hips and place my hands on my hips. We'll take a deep inhale through the nose. Imagine that you're lengthening your spine, standing up just a little taller. And then sigh it out through the mouth. And then from here, we're going to take a few circles with the knees. So from here, it might even be easier to like place your hand on a wall if that's more accessible to you. But again, totally optional. And creating big circles with our knees, what I like to do is doesn't matter which leg you start with, bring your knee all the way over to the right, all the way out in front of you, around and down. And we'll do that a few more times, again, just moving at your own pace. And then finishing up your last round of that, and then switching legs and doing the other one. then once you finish with that, we're going to come back to a neutral position. And from here, we will stretch the arms out again. So on the next inhale, begin to bring your arms out to a big T, so coming out to either sides of you. And then on an exhale, bring your right arm into your chest. Take your left hand, begin with your right outer shoulder, and then just rub all the way down your shoulder. Slowly move to your bicep, rub your bicep. Move your hand all the way down towards your forearm until your left hand gets to your right wrist. And from here, we're going to hold here and breathe for a few breaths. So see if you can drop your right shoulder away from your ear. What I like to do is just like keep a slight bend in my right elbow. And as we stay here and breathe, see if you can bring some awareness to the breath. So what does it feel like as you inhale through the nose? What does it feel like as you exhale through the nose? On your next inhale, slowly release, come back to center and bring your arms out to a big T. And then exhale, we're going to move to the other side. So bring your left arm into your chest. Take your right hand, start from your left shoulder. Rub all the way down on your shoulder. Rub your outer bicep. Rub your outer forearm until your right hand gets all the way to your left wrist. And from here, we'll hold here and breathe. Again, see if you can kind of relax your shoulder away from the ear. Maybe keeping a bend in your elbow. And we'll do the same thing. Just see if you can be aware of the breath here. So can you notice as you inhale? Can you notice as you exhale? Can you smile just a little? And then on your next inhale, release, come back to center and reach your arms out to either sides of you. And then on an exhale, drop your hands down by your sides. So from here, we're going to do a little forward fold here. So again, either bring your feet hip width distance apart or bring your feet together. Bring your hands to prayer to your heart. And once again, just remembering what it is we're grateful for today. And taking a deep inhale through the nose. And sigh it out through the mouth. Let something go. Option here on your next inhale to slowly raise your arms up over your head. And then as you exhale, begin to fold forward, bending from the hips. And see if you can keep a flat back here. As you begin to fold all the way forward, bringing the top of your head towards the earth, coming into a standing forward fold. So from here, bend your knees as generously as you need to. And then what I like to do is from here, walk my feet out just a little wider than my hips. And then grab opposite elbows and just gently sway side to side. And again, no shame in bending your knees here. And then as we're in a forward fold, just noticing any sensations in the body. So do you feel a stretch anywhere? And shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Shake your head maybe, because it's okay not to have the answers to everything. Release your hands to the mat if they're not already there. Micro bend the knees, or bend the knees deeply. Tuck the chin to the chest, and then on an inhale, begin to slowly rise all the way up, stacking one vertebrae on top of another, until you come all the way into standing. And we're going to do this again where we bring our hands to prayer. And just remembering what we're grateful for today. And then taking a deep inhale through the nose. And then sigh it out through the mouth. From here you can release your hands, and then slow and with control, taking our time getting there, we'll begin to make our way onto our hands and knees. So really does not matter how you get there. Taking your time, being gentle with yourself. There's also an option if you wanted to like place a blanket under the knees, you can always do that. You could also like roll your mat up a little and place your knees on them. Protecting the knees, giving our knees some love. Okay. So bringing your knees about underneath your hips, bring your wrists underneath your shoulders, and you can press the tops of the feet into the earth or keep the toes curled. So again, your choice. And we're going to do some cat-cows here. So on an inhale, slowly begin to drop the belly, gaze up, drop the shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, begin to round the spine, look towards your navel, and push from the earth. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze up. See if you can notice the stretch in your front body. And then exhale, round the spine, look towards your navel. See if you can notice the stretch in your back body. Again, inhale, drop the belly. And then exhale, round the spine. Inhale, come back to a neutral position, coming back onto your hands and knees. And then from here, what I like to do is to cross my ankles behind my back. And then begin to roll your seat over your ankles, coming into a seated position. So from here, we're going to do some side body stretches, and we're going to kind of open the chest up a little bit here. So you can keep your legs crisscross applesauce. You could like sit up on your knees, sit your hips back onto your heels. Or another option here is to just straighten the legs out in front of you. So first thing we're going to do is on an inhale, slowly begin to raise your arms up over your head. See if you can take the full inhale to do so. And then on an exhale, begin to cactus the arms. Bring your elbows to a 90-degree angle and spread the fingers as wide as you can. And we're going to hold here for a few breaths. You could also lift your chin away from your chest if it's comfortable in the neck. And just like when we were standing, see if you can bring a little bit more awareness to the breath. So what's it feel like as you inhale? And what's it feel like as you exhale? On your next inhale, slowly begin to raise the arms up over your head. And then exhale. This time we're going to drop our right hand to the earth. And then reach your left arm up and over. A little side body stretch. You can bend your right elbow as generously as you need to here. And again, you can look up if it's comfortable in the neck. And just noticing where you feel the stretch here as you continue to breathe. On your next inhale, slowly unwind, release, come all the way back up. And then on your next exhale, drop your left hand to the earth and reach your right arm up and over. So same thing on the other side. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Again, bend your elbow generously if you need to. And gaze up if it's comfortable in the neck. On an inhale, slowly unwind, release, come back to center and reach your arms up. And then exhale, bring your hands slowly to prayer, to your hearts. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to remember what it is we're grateful for today. And from here, we'll take another deep breath. And then sigh it out through the mouth. You can release your hands from your hearts, and then we'll slowly begin to make our way onto our back. So coming onto your back, option here to hug both of your knees into your chest. And just rock side to side, giving your spine a little massage here. And we're about to move into our final Shavasana. I'm going to do a few more stretches here, but this is all totally optional. If you're ready to just lay and relax and just be, please go ahead and do so by straightening your legs out in front of you, just relaxing on your back. From here, I'm going to do some supine twists. So here's how I like to do it. I like to bring my arms into a cactus arm again, so bringing your elbows to a 90-degree angle. Bring your knees about over your hips, knees together. Taking an inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale, bring both of your knees over to the left side. And if your knees don't touch the ground, that's also okay. And just being easy with ourselves here. There's never any need to force a yoga pose. It's honestly just not worth it. If it's ever causing you pain or discomfort, yeah, it's really just never worth it. Yoga can be challenging. Challenging is different than being uncomfortable or being in pain. I say that, and then sometimes challenges are a little uncomfortable, right? Because it's like it might be something we're not used to. But anyways, I digress. Okay, on an inhale, if you took the supine twist with me, we'll come all the way back to center. So bringing our knees above our hips. And then on your next exhale, we'll take it to the other side. So bringing both of our knees over to the right. And hold here and breathe. If you take the supine twist with me, on an inhale, come back to center. And then another option here to help neutralize our spine is to drop your knees out wide, coming out to either sides of you. Take your hands, and you can either grab the inner corners of your feet or grab the outer corners of your feet. And then on an inhale, slowly begin to point your feet towards the ceiling, coming into happy baby pose. And from here, sometimes I like to rock side to side. And this pose is great if you do like any kind of last back bend or last twist. It just helps to neutralize our spine again. So if you took happy baby with me, we'll take another inhale. And then exhale, release, hug your knees into your chest. And then moving into our final Shavasana. So from here, you can straighten your legs out in front of you. Another option here is to bring your feet out about as wide as a yoga mat, and then allow your knees to touch in the center. And then you can rest your arms down by your sides, palms facing up. Or you could do palms facing down. Another option here is just to rest both hands on your heart, or both hands on your belly. You can also do like one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. And we're going to take about a minute or two to just lie here in stillness. So there's nothing to do here besides to relax and to let go. And the reason why we do Shavasana in yoga is because it really just helps us to integrate the practice that we just did. So often, you know, we meditate or we do yoga or we journal or whatever it is we're doing to take care of us. And then afterwards, it's like we're just right on to the next thing. We don't really allow ourselves to integrate what we're doing. So anyways, I'm going to turn my voice off for a few moments, and then in about a minute or two, I will cue us out of Shavasana here. If you would like to stay in Shavasana for longer, please go ahead and do so. There's really no time limit on how long you can be here. However, just to honor your time, I'll go ahead and begin to cue us out of Shavasana. So if you're ready to come out of Shavasana, we'll begin to invite some movement back into our body by wiggling our fingers and wiggling our toes. Doing a few circles with the ankles and with the wrists. Shaking your head no, just a little, looking left, looking right. And then straighten your legs out in front of you if they're not already. Lifting your arms up over your head. Beginning to deepen the breath as we take a big, good morning stretch. So making yourself as long as possible. And then on an exhale, hug your knees into your chest. And then gently, slowly, and with control, begin to roll over onto your right side and place the right side of your face on your right bicep. And using your left hand, your right elbow, to help push yourself all the way back up, coming back into a seated position. So from here, see if you can keep your eyes closed or your gaze softened. And just like last time we were in a seated position, just coming into a seat that's comfortable with you. So no right or wrong here. And from here, we're going to take our right hand and we're going to tuck in our ring finger and our pinky. So keeping our index and middle finger out. And we're just going to kind of tap a little. So we'll begin at the top of our head, just tapping the top of our head. Once again, just moving as fast or as slow, which is comfortable. And then moving, tapping the middle of your forehead. And just noticing how this feels. And then moving down, tapping your chin. And then moving down, tapping the top of your chest. And moving just a little bit down your chest, tapping your sternum. And just, again, just noticing what this feels like. And then releasing your right hand. And as we end this practice, we're going to do one round of Brahmari breath or bee's breath. And it's really simple. The way that we're going to do this is just by taking an inhale through the nose. And then as we exhale, we'll begin to hum with our mouth closed. So it creates the sound of a bee. So just resting your hands wherever is comfortable. Before we begin, we'll take another cleansing deep breath. So just taking a deep inhale through the nose. And then sighing it out through the mouth. And then taking another inhale through the nose. And begin humming on an exhale. And just letting your breath return back to its natural rhythm. And just noticing how you're feeling in the space right now. And then slow and with control, bring your hands to prayer, or you could place both hands on your hearts. And just taking a moment to express some gratitude towards yourself for doing something to take care of yourself and to give yourself that love that you deserve. And we'll take one more cleansing deep breath here. So again, inhale through the nose. And then exhale through the mouth. And then when you're ready, you can release your hands from your heart. And then slowly begin to bring your eyes open. And as you open your eyes, see if there's a primary color either near or around you, so a red, blue, or yellow. This just helps us to come back into the space with a little more ease and grace. And that is all I have for you today. So if you did stay, I hope you felt like you got something out of the practice. Any questions, feedback, comments at all, please let me know. I'm happy to support in any way that I can. And thank you so much for being here. And go back and check the comments and no comments. If you ever want to come take a full hour class with me, this is the type of yoga that I like to teach. Link is in my bio, so you just sign up, and then if you're not able to join the live class, then you'll get emailed a replay to the class. And yeah, again, if you have any questions, just reach out. I'm happy to help. And thank you all again for being here. Peace.